Let me guess. You lot want some FIFA coins? Well, you better head over to gonthier right now and use my discount code Gonth for some of the cheapest coins you will ever find in your whole life. Lads. It's been a while since I actually introduced one of my videos saying lads. Do any of you actually remember when I used to go, lads? Only you veterans can remember that intro. But anyway, enough for the intro bullshit. Today, we're back with the squad builder. And today, we're going to be taking a look at some of the most famous, some of the most memorable, some of the greatest moments that have ever gone down on a football pitch. Whether they're shocking, funny, straight up violent, we're going to be taking a look at the whole shebang, the whole lot. Now, before we do start, there was something I promised you lot. I said last week, if one of you bring me a really good squad builder to make, I will give you FIFA points on PlayStation or Xbox. Well, guess what? This guy was the lucky winner. If you want to be on the screen just like this guy right here, look at him. Look at him, shaking his booty all excited. If you want to look like this guy, if you want to win yourself some FIFA points, all you got to do is drop a like on the video and leave a comment in the comments below. It's that easy, you may as well just do it. But now I think it's time we took a look at some of the most famous moments in all of football history. For the first time in the history of my squad builders, we're going to start off with the manager. We're not going to start with the goalkeeper, we're going to start with the manager, Zinedine Zidane. Because his most famous moment in football, every single football fan in the world remembers. He completely lost his head. Like literally lost his head. Do you see what We're rolling back the years all the way to the World Cup 2006 when Maserati said something in the back of Zinedine Zidane's ear. And Zidane got so pissed off that he turned around, he looked at him and boom! Headbutted him to the floor. Now, there's one thing I love about this clip and there's one thing I hate. I really don't, to this day, understand why Zinedine Zidane didn't just headbutt him straight in his mouth and take all his teeth out. Why would you take a red card for headbutting someone in the chest? I don't understand. We then, of course, have Roberto Carlos and his shiny, brown, bald head. Carlos, I love you, and I love everything about you. You are one of the best left backs to ever grace a football pitch. But one day it really would be interesting if we saw you with some hair. Because you've been bald since you popped out the womb. Let's all be honest, let's not beat around the bush. We all know what famous moment this is, because there's not a person out there who hasn't seen this wacky, wild free kick. When Roberto Carlos took one of the longest run-ups I have ever seen on a free kick and just give it, boom, hit the ball so hard that it curled outwards and came all the way back in. Look at that. That's absolutely incredible. And even to this day, that still blows my mind. Look at that. People in the crowd actually flinched. That is mad. Okay, Carl Henry. I'm not gonna lie, this guy doesn't deserve to be in this squad builder because he hasn't done anything. The guy's shit. He plays for QPR and he's done nothing, but he looks like Thierry Henry, he's the same colour as Thierry Henry, and he has the same second name as Thierry Henry, so we always use him as Thierry Henry. Now, every Arsenal fan can remember that day when Thierry Henry came back to play for Arsenal. I think it was only for a couple of games, and it was written in the stands. He came on, and this is exactly what he did. Put it bottom corner. Oh my God. Not just Arsenal fans, every football fan around the world remembers that moment when Henry and his big beard came and done what he's been doing for the last 15 years for Arsenal, scored goals. And from one good Arsenal clip, we of course go to a bad one, because Czech Tiote is going to show you what happens when Arsenal go 4-0 up against Newcastle. Against Newcastle, we were 4-0 up. Every person who watches Premier League football remembers this comeback, because it was embarrassing for us. As you can see, Arsenal were 4-0 up, Newcastle had brought it back to 4-3, and Tiote, bang, left foot, bottom corner, absolute screamer, brought it back to 4-all. Look at this! Can you imagine being a Newcastle fan? That was the goal, to bring it back to 4-all. An absolute screamer. How Arsenal can hold 4-0 leads, 3-0 leads with less slip as well, I will never ever know. It's mind-blowing. You cannot go 4-0 up as a professional football team, one of the best teams in the country, and then somehow draw 4-all. It doesn't make no sense. Francesco Totti, one of my favourite players of all time. This guy, he just screams legend. He's not a legend, he's a god. Who remembers when Totti scored that winner against Lazio? Look at that for a goal as well. Ran into the crowd. Don't even ask how he managed to pull this off. He must have planned this. Totti's that kind of guy who can pull off this and plan it. He's ran up to his coach, grabbed his mobile, and took one of the greatest football selfies to date that we've ever seen. I mean, who do you know actually scores a goal, runs, gets his mobile phone out and takes a selfie? And this is in an Olympic stadium where they're huge. You have to run a mile just to go and see the fans. What a guy. And next to Totti in the history books, we have got Xabi Alonso. This guy has had an absolutely magnificent career. Take nothing away, I don't care, I'm not a biased Arsenal fan. I've always loved players like Totti, Alonso, David Beckham, Wayne Rooney. I mean, there's always these sort of players that you just can't hate. You can't deny they have talent, and Alonso was involved in one of the best, biggest comebacks to date that we will ever see. In a final of a Champions League, to come back from 3-0 down, to win the game, even now it gives me goosebumps. Everyone can remember when AC Milan were literally the most deadliest team in the whole of Europe. They were probably the most deadliest team in the world at the time. Liverpool are 3-0 down, they've scored 2 goals, and out of nowhere, Gerrard gets a penalty. Up steps Xabi Alonso back when he didn't even have a beard, and he misses the first one, and then the second one, he gets it in. Oh my word. I wish I was a Liverpool fan back then, because it gives me goosebumps and it gets me gas. But being a Liverpool fan, that's a whole nother level. Out on the wing, we then have Neymar, one of the best players in the world, undeniably. Gotta be top 3. This guy has done so much since he's moved from Santos. This guy was playing in the Brazilian league a few years ago, and now he's like the greatest, one of the greatest wingers to ever grace our generation. I've said it before and I'll say it again, this goal was absolutely outrageous. This skill that he does there, no, I'm off, I can't be asked. Even to this day, that blows my mind. That actually won the Puskas Award, or Pushkash, whatever you want to call it. He got goal of the year. And it deserves more than goal of the year. This could go for goal of the decade. Look at it. Neymar, take a bow. That was definitely one of the most famous goals ever scored, because it was unbelievable. And unfortunately, from one good moment in football, we go to a bad one. Eden Hazard, for some reason, lost his head and made all the headlines. It was a crazy thing to do. I'd probably do it myself. But when you're Eden Hazard, a professional footballer, as soon as you raise your hand or your foot to someone, you're gonna get sued and you're gonna make all the paper headlines. So don't do it. So it's Chelsea versus Swansea, and the ball boy clearly wouldn't give the ball back to Hazard. So for some reason, Hazard kicks the ball from underneath the ball boy and accidentally kind of kicks the ball boy as well. The kid's going down like he's just been shot. Like, look at this. He's like, man down. Like, you can see him like breathing heavily and stuff. I think he even goes off on a stretcher. It's ridiculous, but anyone would do that. You've just been kicked by one of the best footballers in the world. You're gonna act like you've just broken a rib. You're gonna act like you can't breathe. And unfortunately, Hazard, that is one of the most memorable moments in the last few years. Everyone remembers that. We then move up to our attack, and Wayne Rooney is gonna be leading it. Wayne Rooney leading an attack. You can't go wrong. Even to this day, Wayne Rooney is still a legend. And I think he deserves, I've said it before, to be treated with more respect. I'll be surprised if he's still at Man United by the end of the summer. But you Man United fans, take a little look at what Rooney has done in the past. This is one of the most famous goals scored in a derby. It's one of the best goals I've ever seen scored in a derby match. Manchester United versus Man City. I'm not sure what the score was at the time, but I think this could have been the winner. Nani dinks the ball into Rooney. Rooney out of nowhere grows another 10 foot and pulls off that. Oh my goodness, Joe Hart didn't even move. That is one of the greatest goals you will ever see in a derby match. It blows my mind to this day. How did he jump up that high? Joe Hart just literally stood there and just watched it fly past him, but what a goal. And of course, over to the other side, I could never make a most famous squad builder and not include something that Suarez has done. And unfortunately, he doesn't really do anything good that makes the headlines. It's always something really bad. Even though Suarez is a great player and scores a lot of goals, it's always his bad things that make the headlines. As you can see here, Suarez takes an absolute chunk out of Cellini's arm. And do you know why I've included this? It's because it wasn't the first time or the second time he's been done for doing this. This was the third time he did it. He bit someone for the third time. It's like Willie Evelyn, and I think every football fan, even Barcelona, all know in the back of their mind it's just a matter of time before he offends again and he bites someone else again. He's an absolute head loss. But what I can say is when Suarez is on his game and he's not biting people, he is without a doubt top 3 best, or even top 1 best striker in the whole world. This guy is unbelievable. But now finally to sum up the team, we have got Lionel Messi. Oh, this guy has done too much greatness. At the moment, he's got a hero card that is a CAM. Now that is gonna be absolutely unbelievable. That means you can finally play Messi as a striker. Messi has got so many famous moments that he's done in football. It's hard to actually pin it down to one, but the goal he scored the other day against Real Madrid, I think is gonna go down in history. He scored in the very last kick of the game to give his team all 3 points. Madness, mad scenes. And for those of you who haven't actually seen this, here it is, Barcelona on the break. Messi comes out of nowhere, left foot, bottom corner. Keeper, absolutely no chance. And it's a celebration. It's that celebration that everyone remembers. I got a funny feeling that celebration is going to go down in history. When he took off his top, and there's actually a still of when he takes off his top and he got one hand in the air. It's absolutely madness. That was the last kick of the game in the El Clasico for Barcelona to win. That is going to sum up the squad builder for today, lads. You have witnessed some of the best, some of the weirdest, and some of the strangest, most famous moments in football. We've seen some great goals, we've seen some shocking moments, and we've seen some straight up mad comebacks. If you all have got any suggestions on what squad builder you want me to build next, leave them in the comments below. But as usual, lads, hope you've enjoyed, and we'll speak to you all next time. Peace. Open. 3, 2, 1. It's a walkout. I think I saw an Italian flag, I'm not sure. I did.